Am I the a-hole for uninviting my sister-in-law from my wedding after she leaked my pregnancy? I, 26F, am 10 weeks pregnant. My partner, 28M, and I told our immediate families early, but made it very clear we weren't telling anyone else until after the first trimester. Last night, my fiance's sister, 29F, posted a story on Instagram. It was a get ready with me for a family dinner we had last weekend. She then causally indirectly talks about becoming an auntie. She tagged me and my fiancé. I saw it when I got a notification that I was tagged. I had over 50 messages from distant friends and coworkers before I could even process it. We hadn't even told our friends yet. I was totally mad, called her screaming. She tried to say it was an accident and that she forgot and she was just teasing. I told her she was uninvited from our wedding. She cried, "My future in-laws are furious," saying I'm overreacting and ruining the family over a silly social media post. They say I should just be happy people are excited. My fiancé is on my side. NTA, not only did she go against your wishes, she also took away your joy of making that announcement yourselves. It wasn't an accident. She made a social media post. That was on purpose. There really isn't any coming back from that in regards to your relationship with her. She's basically ruined that forever. You cannot trust her, just remember that. As far as uninviting her from your wedding, I get it. I may have gone the route of removing her from the wedding party and making her just a plain old guest. Also, lesson learned. Don't tell anyone about any future pregnancies or anything that you don't want people to know until you actually want them to know. So was it an accident or was she teasing? Because I'm pretty sure those would contradict each other here. I'm not so convinced this was exalted an accident, and if that's the case, I wouldn't want someone like that around in general, not just at my wedding. Next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to sell my house to a landlord? I bought a fixer-upper in my 20s with my now ex. I bought him out, but agreed to give him back his portion of deposit he paid upon sale, whenever that may be. We remained friends as we've known each other since childhood. Regardless of that, I still plan to stick to my work 8 years later. I told him I was in the process of selling the house. He asked me if I had any offers, and I told him yeah, but from a few landlords. I didn't think that needed further explanation, because he knows full well how I feel about landlords buying up starter homes in lower income areas, and how strongly I felt about turning this house into a home for myself and the next occupants. He's absolutely furious at me for not going for a quick sale because he wants his measly $5K back now. I told him no way, and tried to remind him of all the offers we made on starter homes that just got swept up by landlords. It was devastating, and we almost lost all hope of getting on the property ladder. None of them wanted this one because it needed so much work. He's blowing my phone up and told my parents, who are more gently telling me to just go for the easy sale. But I'm in no rush to move and want all my hard work to go to a family instead of someone's business. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Giving him the $5K specifically from the sale has been discussed over messages many times in the past. If I just give him $5K now, he could still say I owe him from the sale of the house. Getting him out was a nightmare, as he can be pretty nasty. Most of the time he's fine, but he suddenly switches and goes to war with people. NTA. You don't owe a landlord a sale, and you don't owe your ex instant cash. You're selling responsibly and sticking to your values. Nothing wrong with that. OP replies, technically I don't owe him any cash at all. I paid him for all the equity he had in this house. I stupidly agreed to it, honestly, just to convince him to leave. He has on and off gambling and drug issues, so going off his current attitude, one of those things are taking the lead. Next story. Am I the a-hole for throwing my nephew out of a family party? For some context, me, M53, and my family live in the South, specifically Charleston, SC. A year back, my son Jake, M20 now, started attending the University of South Carolina, go Gamecocks, and during his freshman year, he met a lovely girl named Monique, also 20 years old. Monique is, as her name suggests, African American, while our family is Caucasian, but neither me nor anyone else in my immediate family has had any issue with that. She's sweet, beautiful, and overall an incredible young woman, and we all accepted her with open arms from the first time we met her. A week ago, my wife and I held a party at our home, and Jake and Monique both made the trip from college to attend. The party was going well until I noticed Jake and Monique were alone and Monique was crying. I asked what had happened, and Monique told me that Jake's cousin Greg, M17, had told him that he shouldn't slum it and called Monique a ghetto W word, among other racist remarks. I went to find Greg, and he admitted to this, saying that he was just looking out for my cousin. At this point, I told him to leave, and he and his parents left, but his parents have been on me as of late for blowing things out of proportion. Edit. A lot of you are rightfully pointing out a bias I had where I assumed Monique was a predominantly African American name. I didn't know that it's a common French name as well, and associated the name with black people since all the Moniques I personally know have been black. I didn't mean anything by this, but in retrospect, I can see how that makes me sound bad, so I'll try and do better from here on out. NTA. You address bigotry by setting boundaries and consequences. Your home, your rules. Good job addressing it properly. You heard about it. You confirmed it to be fact. You enforced the consequences. Not surprised his parents were okay with it. You know who he learned it from. Edit to add, but your comment about her name, though, might want to work on your own internalized racism. Monique is French. Next story. Am I the a-hole for calling my mom an idiot after she ignored my advice about co-signing a loan? Back in 2022, my uncle, who was 36 at the time, asked my mom, who was 50, to co-sign a loan for a truck. My mom agreed because he told her he was going to use it for his business as a subcontractor. I overheard my mom discussing this with my dad, who was 49 when he passed away. My dad said it was not a good idea, but my mom always made the final decision. He gave up and did not argue. I joined in and told her there was a good reason why the bank did not want to give him a loan on that truck and that she shouldn't be risking her nearly perfect credit score. My mom argued that he was using it to start his business and already had multiple contracts lined up, which she claimed to have seen. I told her he did not need a brand new F-250 Lariat Super Crew, that there were plenty of reasonably priced used F-250 XLs at half the cost. She replied that I did not know what I was talking about, that he was in construction and knew the truck he needed, and that I was just a kid with no life experience. She told me to leave her alone because I was annoying. At the time, I was 23 and also working in the trades. Framers don't need a Super Duty truck, let alone a luxury trim. I tried convincing her, but she gave me the silent treatment and acted like I was being manipulative. I did some side work at his site, repairing his GC semi-truck. Literally every material is hauled through other subs or by the GC himself. He could have gotten a cheap 1-2 truck, and it would be more than enough. Now I am 26. My dad died 2 years ago, and my mom only has one income and still has $300,000 on the mortgage. She is already struggling financially. She called me last week and asked me to help manage her finances. She showed me a letter from the bank stating that they will repossess my uncle's truck unless the balance is paid. It turns out my uncle does not know how to manage a business. He has not had a single contract in months and is terrible with money. He used to gamble away his entire paychecks and spend on designer clothes. None of this surprised me. I told my mom there was nothing I could do. I reminded her that I begged her not to go through with this more than 3 years ago, and she ignored me because I was just a kid. I told her I was not going to waste my time helping idiots who don't want to be helped, and I am sorry. So am I the a-hole for how I responded? NTA. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. She took the risk and didn't listen to the advice of her 2 closest family members. Everything went poorly, and now she's wanting to listen. She should go to a financial advisor. At least she might listen to them first time round. OP replies. I think she was trying to get me to move back and pay her rent so she can cover his payments rather than listen to my advice. Lowell, not gonna do it. Your mom was very foolish. You're being an a-hole to kick her while she's struggling. You could have told her to let the uncle's truck be repossessed, then help her with the rest. ETA. OP is NTA for choosing not to give his mother any money. I interpreted his mother's request for help managing her money as a request for advice, not for money. OP replies. I doubt she'll listen to me. She asks me for advice and never follows through with it. IDK, why? That's just my mom. And I'm certainly not going to risk my financial security to subsidize her mistakes. I've my own family now. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my fat friend stop talking about getting in shape? Little background information about myself. I am in good physical shape. I diet and meal prep. Pretty much your average gym bro. My friend, on the other hand, is medically obese and a gamer. Every couple of months, he'll go on about how he wants to change his life, get in shape, diet, and be consistent in the gym. Then he'll ask me for the same advice I gave countless times, complain about his life and why he's fat. Ultimately, he'll ask me to start taking him to the gym. He'll go like one time, then just flake out and not go again. He'll then randomly start complaining that I never take him. Then he'll give up and repeat this process. I literally cannot tell you how many times I have made workout programs for him. Pep talks, meal prep suggestions and directions. Well, I'm sick of it. I told him this time something along the lines of, Stop asking me for help. You never take my advice and blame your circumstances on your past. He then went on and told our other friend in front of me, "Hey, can I go to the gym with you? OP doesn't want to take me and help me." I went on to tell him he has no self-control, no accountability, he is a hedonist, and he blames all his fuck-ups on other people. Then I said, just do it. Stop talking about it your whole life, and do it. Am I the a-hole? Exercise scientist here. This method isn't going to help him or motivate him, same as taking him to the gym isn't working. When you are medically overweight, there are many factors involved in the reason behind it. One thing I can tell you is that it's more important to focus on getting him to enjoy moving rather than bringing him to a gym. Gyms are not for everyone. Besides the fact that gyms can be a place of judgment, it's also intimidating if you don't know how to use the equipment, are afraid to get super sweaty in public, or just don't like doing repetitive sets. If you do want to help your friend, my advice is to get him to enjoy moving his body in a way that helps get him off the couch and away from temptation. It could start as simply as with a walk around the block. Not only is that exercise, but you get fresh air and sunlight, a walk in the mall, so on and so forth. It starts small. You are not going to take someone who is a couch potato and make them into a gym bro overnight. That's like having someone who is heavily addicted to substances and having them be totally clean and committed to a better life overnight. There's a lot of steps to get to that point. I hope you can help your friend in a positive way for his sake and yours.